We were doing a pool party for my daughter's birthday, and my mom noticed that my nephew was not in the little group of kids, and so she hollered to my sister, and you know, where's Tristan? I saw my sister jumping in the pool. She pulled him out, and when I got to him, he was blue and he was unconscious. He was just kind of laying there. In the actual moment, I felt like my hands were made of clay. But the training truly helped in the fact that I didn't have to really think about it. I knew what to do. It's a frightening experience to think that it could have turned out differently. We had 10 kids there. We also had 10 adults. That could happen to anyone, anywhere.
If you knew your toddler would fall into a pool, if you knew an ember would leave your fireplace, if you knew your child would choke on a grape, you could stop it. But the thing is, you never know. That's why people across Greater Kansas City are part of the American Red Cross. Every year, Byra and hundreds of others in the Kansas City area learn how to save a life with CPR. With 8 hours of training, they each become part of a critical network of people who could help you or someone you love survive an accident or medical emergency. Those people and the experts who train them are part of your local American Red Cross and a source of help, hope, and recovery when you need it. You may not know who they are. Red Cross volunteers could live next door or work in your office. But like the teams you saw in New Orleans and Indonesia after natural disasters, the Greater Kansas City chapter is prepared to help when there's a local crisis. Regardless of their scale, disasters inflict pain and hardship on individuals.
I opened the garage door, and the wall connecting the garage and the house was aflame and big. I knew it was trouble. I had a robe on and slippers, and that's it. We walked out of the house and stood across the street and watched it go up in flames. I think there's an element of shock. Something sets in you, it was just watching it. It was not me. It was like, this doesn't happen to me. This is otherworldly.
These folks got out with their clothes on their back, and that's it. What we do on the scene is we will get them set up to make sure that they have a roof over their head tonight, that they've got clothes on their back, and that they're going to have food to eat.
Red Cross volunteers are on call around the clock to provide a friendly face and meet the immediate needs of people who have just lost their home and belongings. Then caseworkers go to work, helping families arrange for food, clothing, a place to stay, even replacement prescriptions or nurses if they need them. Another way to respond to emergencies is to be on site in situations where first aid and health care may be needed, at fairs or triathlons, or at professional sporting events.
Red Cross needs ambulance, respond to the Red Cross van.
Other disasters are harder to predict.
On that day, it was a Sunday afternoon, and I rallied our group together and said, okay, tornado sirens are sounding. So we all went down in the basement and we shut the door, and then felt the walls starting to decompress in our building. And I looked up to the basement window and I saw our cars lifting off the parking lot.
In the spring of 2003, when a tornado swept through Liberty, Missouri and the campus of William Jewell College, the Red Cross activated its Disaster Action Team. Experienced volunteers rushed to the site with their emergency response vehicle and set up a location to provide food and water and a central point for communication.
And the folks very quickly from the Red Cross are great at empathizing with individuals and letting them know that I'm from your community, I'm one of your community.
The Red Cross crew is well rehearsed in mass care logistics from regular training exercises, like Ready When the Time Comes, an emergency shelter simulation. But the best way to prepare for a disaster is to prevent it from ever happening. And the Red Cross provides important programs to prevent health emergencies and home fires. The Red Cross helps provide the Kansas City area with a safe and reliable blood supply nearly 10,000 units a year, gathered from special events and corporate and community drives. Flu shots are given at hundreds of clinics throughout the metropolitan area. Volunteers fan out in neighborhoods, replacing batteries and smoke alarms, and handing out information about fire safety. Over 1,000 smoke alarms are given out free every year, and there's a hotline to call for those who need help with installation. These people who volunteer day to day to prevent disasters, in a different way, are heroes too.
Bianca and I were laughing pretty hard because she likes this little boy in her class, and all of a sudden she stops laughing and she's grabbing her neck, and I was just like, "Are you okay?" So I pulled her out of the chair. I put my arms around her like they showed us in the class. She was pretty small, but she made it out okay.
Training young people is a great way to keep them safe and to help them keep their children safe in the future. In babysitting classes, older boys and girls learn not only how to prevent accidents, but also what to do if something happens. Lucky for Bianca, her sitter was trained in how to help choking victims.
A little higher up, right in between the shoulder blades, yeah.
Dash is a character who helps grade school children learn how to be safe at home. And those few simple messages in school assemblies can mean all the difference in an emergency. Here, Splash is showing kids how to be safe in the winter, to dress warm, stay dry, and stay away from icy ponds. And the best kind of water safety is to know how to swim. Every year, thousands of kids take swimming lessons from Red Cross certified instructors at area pools that are watched by Red Cross certified lifeguards. Around the world, Red Cross volunteers are on call to help victims of major disasters and personal emergencies. But a lot of what the Red Cross does in our community is prevent these situations by teaching CPR and swimming, by training babysitters and drawing blood, installing smoke alarms, and teaching children to protect themselves. But the thing about life is, you never know. And that's why so many people in our community are Red Cross volunteers. They want to be the face of reassurance when things go wrong. They want to make a difference for people in need. They want to give back. They don't know where and they don't know when, but they are ready. And our community is a better place because of them.